Hello everybody, it's me, Pottery Demon. I got a new video for you guys today. Today, I had 3 really freaking strong true forms. I talked a little bit about, let's see what I talked about. I talked about ideas, I talked a little bit more about parallel projects. I talked about an idea of changing maybe the pottery vlog thing into something new, just because I feel like they're in a transitional stage. And then today I also have a thing, I'm going to call it like my object history videos. We'll see how it sort of goes, but I'm taking some objects that I made in the past that aren't ever going to see the light of day, and I'm going to be sitting with those, and I'm just going to be talking about those maybe for like, I don't know, like 2 minutes or something, nothing too crazy, but I think that will be coming in during the commercial stages of the videos, and so that's kind of exciting. Hopefully you guys like those. I don't know, we'll see. Always trying to come up with new ideas, always trying new things, always stay malleable, just like the clay that we manipulate. Our brains are also something that can be changed, altered, and we can always grow. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys in a second. All the best. Strong mentality. Peace. Alrighty. Clap. There we go, guys. Hello, everybody. It's me, Pottery Demon here. I got a new video for you guys today. Today I'm all geared up. I got my microphone on my chest. I got my GoPro on my head, so hopefully you guys can see some new angles. And then, sorry, I gotta get my wire tool. And then I got my new Fruit of the Loom green shirts on. Today, it's going to be kind of something, hopefully a little bit new. I'm going to be trying to collapse a couple ideas. A while ago I talked a little bit about this idea of parallel projects, right? Sort of like keeping projects simple enough to where eventually you can collide them together, right? And so I don't know if you guys remember the GoPro videos. Those were like really old GoPro videos. But I'm hoping this will make it so you guys can see sort of, like what's going on, like on the inside where you guys might not normally see. And then maybe you'll get to see a little bit more of where my eyes and attention is on when I'm making the pots here, right? And then today I'm also going to be, I finally got some new lights, and so I'm going to be trying out a new commercial type, right? I got my edited shorts, I got my demos, and then now I'm going to do sort of a object history. So this is object history 1, so that's kind of exciting. I think like setting these videos up in a way where they become sort of like a no. Come on. There we go. Setting these videos up where they become almost like a TV show is probably a good idea. I wonder if maybe I should change these videos now to no longer being like the pottery vlog, Maybe I gotta change them to a show name. I don't know, like a TV show. Pottery Adventures. Start off with that first nice pole there. But it'll be kind of cool. I'll be going over. I actually haven't even decided which pot I'm actually gonna do today when it comes to the history thing. I'm thinking it's just gonna be kind of fun. Like, man, I got so many objects, and so being able to I got so many objects. I actually have this hairs get in my face when I'm doing that. It's hard for me to see. But nothing's harder for me to see than when I'm in that green screen head. That sucks. But I think it will be nice just because I'm all surrounded by so many objects all the time. And if I can finally, like, put to use some of these objects that I know, like, I'm not gonna sell, right? I'm not gonna give them away either. Some of them are just not really good. It's not something I wouldn't be known for making, right? And so in those videos, what I'll do for those objects, I think I can repurpose them in the same way. So like there, I had an object that was just gonna sit in the dust, and now it might have been just a simple idea. Now I'm gonna collide it into these things. That's sort of the essence of this idea I call parallel projects, right? You sort of have a lot of these things all colliding, and then I'm colliding them in video form, right? But you can collide them in any way that sort of works for you, right? That's the cool part about it, is you don't really need them to be done in a certain way, as long as they're simple enough that they're not too opinionated of an idea that they can't coexist with other ideas, right? That's sort of the, ooh, shit. I'm actually liking this one. I'll let that one fall like that. Damn. But you'll hear me talk about parallel projects again someday. These are the moments where Pottery Demon gets a little, I just talk to myself in third person. That was kind of weird. Those are the moments in which I'm like a broken record. Like sometimes there's certain things that I just can't stop thinking about every day. You know, they're sort of like whispering in my ear. They're like, hey, the idea's still here. Don't leave me. And on those ones, I kind of have to respect the idea because it keeps coming back, right? Show some respect to your ideas. There was this thing by Stan Lee, right? And he was like, he's the guy who made like Spider-Man. Everybody I think knows Spider-Man. That's a pretty like huge character, right? But Spider-Man, right? What is he? So I guess he was saying that like some people thought that the Spider-Man thing or whatever was just never going to work out for him, right? And Stan Lee says, like in response later in his life, he was like, if you have an idea that you genuinely believe in, right? Not just like you hope, right? But you genuinely believe in it. Don't let some schmuck, right? I love that word schmuck. Don't let some schmuck. I don't think he used schmuck, but I'm using schmuck. Don't let some, I think he said idiot, but don't let some schmuck tell you that your idea is no good, right? And so that's how I feel about a lot of my stuff that I do in my life. Is some of it, like I really genuinely believe in myself, right? I tell some of my friends I'm a little bit delusional, right? But I kind of like being a little bit delusional, right? Like I actually believe wholeheartedly in a lot of the things I say, right? Even if it seems like kind of silly or pie in the sky ideas, like I don't care, right? It's kind of scary, but there's another saying that puts into frame of reference on how I think, right? And that is, every man has two lives. The second one begins when he realizes that he only has just one. Oh my God. What a fucking quote that is, man. And I realize that I only have one life. And if my life is going to be amounted to me, I used to work at like Chicken Shack. Working at Chicken Shack and these other odd jobs like frying chicken, or as much as I like teaching, it's not my end goal. My end goal is never teaching, right? I don't want my life to amount to just being a teacher, right? Like I want, my ego wants a lot more, and I respect my ideas, right? I respect myself. And so I don't care if it's gonna take me a long time, or, if it becomes really difficult for me to achieve some of the things I want. It doesn't matter to me, because I think that my ideas are valuable, right? And I hope that you guys also think your ideas, they earn a little bit more respect than just being in your head, right? And so, yeah, I think that's sort of my idea on that stuff. We'll do one more, and then we'll cut to the commercial thing, right? Yeah, but I don't even know what I would call if I did like a series of, I don't know why I'm walking back and forth. God damn it. If I did a series where I'm just kind of like, kind of making this almost like a TV show series, right? Like, I don't even know what I would do, right? I don't even know what I would say about it. But maybe a name will come up for it. But for now, I think the pottery vlog series is, I don't even know if I really count these as vlogs anymore. At least the recent ones have just been more of like almost like a let's play, like a let's throw. That'd be actually kind of funny. A let's throw. I don't think a lot of people would understand like the context of like a let's play being like something that, like, I guess I grew up watching a lot of like people playing video games, which is kind of weird because I don't know why, but sometimes I enjoy watching other people play video games than what I would play video games. There's like that extra quality of like that shared experience, right? Where I think some people, they don't necessarily get those shared experiences playing by themselves, especially in single player games. So it's kind of cool to see someone's interaction with something where when you're playing by yourself, if you don't got friends that you can sort of share that with, it's totally a self. You gotta be the one to totally enjoy that game. And I think it's a trend nowadays where it's harder and harder and harder to enjoy single player games. There's something about it. I remember when I was a kid, I'd play single player game and it was like freaking Skyrim. Oh, yo, this is sick. But now I feel like if I'm playing a single player game, I'm almost 100% rather be playing a game that I don't even like, as long as I'm playing it with people, right? I think that's why maybe I like League of Legends still to this day, is just that it's not really even though I can queue up for solo queue, right, to play I'm just playing by myself, but with a random 5 random strangers, or 9 random strangers if you're counting the enemy team. Like, there's something that's kind of, you're sharing in either the suffering or the success, right? And there's sometimes where that success is just, especially with other people, it makes it feel so freaking good. Look at that, guys. Freaking. This pot felt insane. This top, though, is like really, really thin. So I kind of screwed that up. I also don't know how long until see this head cam that I usually have on? It's usually overheats like super fast, right? Like the GoPro, it's go, right? And the only thing that's moving here right now is my freaking wheel. So this thing overheats so quick. Look at that. We'll do something like this on the top there. Alright. separate this bottom part. Look at this. I really hope you guys can see some of these moves I'm making. We'll see. Chances are that it's not even looking at the pot. Maybe the view is like totally somewhere else. It's got a rip there, that's okay. You know what? It's kind of cool. You can see like a little rip there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I gotta realize now that I have this head cam, I might be able to make some more commentary on the little things I see. Right, like right now when I'm looking at this, I see these little marks. I don't know if I like those marks yet or not, right? And so I usually just have been leaving them for now, but it seems like there's like some level of potential that's cooking up there. Whether it's just like taking my thumb and just kind of smashing that down in the clay just like this, you see? To make this feel more like I'm swooping in, right? But again, I don't really know. Like we'll see like if it becomes more important. And like that's the cool thing about making videos, right? Is I'm at the point now where I forget almost every single video what I talk about right after I'm done filming it, right? Like when I'm doing the intros, conversations, I actually have to watch some of the video to even remember what the fuck I was talking about, which is like a little bit frustrating. But what happens is like because I'm trying to like show you guys and always like make the best content I can, right? And I'm always, I think making the best content I can is a little bit, maybe that's a weird, but not weird, just not really what I mean. I think I mean like I'm always trying to upgrade and update what I'm doing, right? Like I'm always trying to figure out new ways and new things I can show you, because in my mind there's one time I'm gonna have one idea eventually, right? Like I really am playing a numbers game. If I have freaking 100 videos, right, and I make different kind of adjustments every video, one of them's gonna do well, right? One of them has to do well. It's like it's just a numbers game. Eventually one of my ideas is gonna hit, right? And so I'm always gonna be coming up with new ideas. And so in doing that, right, like this time, this GoPro thing, right, maybe it's gonna, when I'm doing that, I'm trying to discover new things for the sake of the video. I end up also discovering new things in the sake of the pots, right? Because the videos are guiding me in a way that I look at the pots differently. So you guys don't know this, but, well, maybe you guys know this, I don't know, but I'm learning from myself making these videos. And so like, although I want to make good content for you guys, just know like I'm in it to make the best pottery in the world. Like that's really my aim, right? And some people think that it's like, oh, he wants to be the best, his goal is to be the best, that's all he cares about. But what it really is that it's the mindset of wanting to be the best is where I want to be, right? Whether I get to be the best potter or not, right? Like in my head, I already am, right? But it's about that attempting, that space in between the start and the finish, right? That space in between, that is just the gold, right? I want to exist in there as much as possible. But here's the second one, guys. Today's pots are really good. So now I'm going to cut to me walking over, or I'll do my history thing for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and then I'll be back in right a second. All right, see you guys in a second. I'm going to walk over there now. Hello, guys. Here I am. We got our object for today. Today's object is, it's actually kind of a weird thing. It's a cup. I had a friend of mine, she made these cups. I don't think she started with ceramics, but she sort of moved towards that direction, right? And these cups that she was making, a lot of them were hand built. They were a little bit heavier. They had raw clay on the outside, and I just absolutely fell in love with one specific aspect of it, and that is they have a hole to put your finger in right here, right? And so this to me was a huge, sort of discovery in my own pots, because at around this time I was thinking to myself, I don't want to be making strap handles. What does my handle look like, right? And then I eventually moved over to the knob handles. Let's see if I'll pick one up. We'll move over to these knob handles here, right? Just because, we'll set that over here for a second. I moved over to these knob handles just because I fell in love with something that was different than what I was making, right? I didn't want to make any more of those strap handles. And so the knob handles became my solution, and you can put your thumb in there. It's kind of like a fun thing to hold, right? And so put that back over there. This was like the first iteration, because when I saw hers, I was so drawn to it. And I was like, oh, wow, it's an interesting way. And these eventually became the knob handles, right? And the cool thing about this is that you lift it up out of its vessel. It's a holding, it's like own holding container, right? And this cup is actually really beautiful, because maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more, and we'll lower this down ever so slightly. There we go, guys. Sorry. Just want to make sure you guys can get a nice look at this stuff. Okay. But this pot is just crazy, because look, this on the underneath here, right? What do you see? You see these drips, right? So the glaze, I fired this pot elevated, right? And so it dripped into the bottom of this vessel. You cannot really see the inside there, but just know that I set it on here and it's unglazed right on this rim, right? So then when I set it inside this thing and I fired it like that, first I prayed that I could pull it out, right? And it didn't get stuck there at all. But then I was sort of surprised in how much this is actually a crystalline, I don't know if you guys can really see, but it's a crystalline glaze on there, right? So small little crystals everywhere, and it drips a lot. So it drips, and so it makes this really weird thing, especially when it's filled with stuff. It's not really that great, right? The inside's really nice. It's a nice matte clear. But when it's inside of its container, right? When it's inside its own little, zoom just a tad, here's the object now as a whole, right? Really freaking weird. It reminds me of like a Doctor Who, like Dalek, I don't even know what they are. Kind of these weird robot dudes. They're not really robots though. I think they're like a brain or something. But just a cool thing. And I actually discovered some things with this, because it doesn't touch that bottom part there, right? I thought of ways that I could work with this, right? Why does this have feet? Well, first I wanted to stop making like foot rings. I wanted to stop trimming, and so it was kind of like my way of like, oh, well, maybe I'll try something new. And I tried out these little feet, and what does this do too is it keeps it elevated, because whenever you set something hot, like a beverage, if it's totally flat, touching this board per se, but maybe a better example is like granite or any sort of stone, the stone is actually sucking the heat from the object, right? Maybe there's coffee on the inside of it, right? It's sucking that heat away from the object, and so it cools it down. And so a foot ring is helpful. And so I was thinking to myself, like, oh wow, like this is going to be really nice. And maybe you put a hot beverage in here, you put hot boiling water in here, and a way to keep your drink warm would be to have it in this vessel, right? Because then there's a pool of hot water in here. Obviously you can't fill it all the way up to the brim, or else it's going to leak. The water's going to leak out. But that was sort of the idea behind this object. It ended up becoming kind of like a cool thing. I would love to make like a whole series of pots like this, but it's kind of like a hard thing to want to get a hold of, right? But maybe I'll actually set it over here. Have more space. Like that. But that's the object, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the videos today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little object history on this sort of fun object here. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys in just a second. Peace. All right, welcome back, guys. We got another shit. Welcome back, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the commercial there. It was kind of a fun thing to record. I don't know, it's a new thing, so I hope you guys enjoy that stuff. But now we're back to the throwing part. And today's throwing has been freaking fire. I feel really good about every one of the pots I made today. I think I'm doing a good job talking too. Yesterday I think I struggled a little bit more, but today I think I have a little bit more to talk about, especially with this head cam, right? It's kind of nice, right? I can sort of talk about some more things that you might not see, right? And so that's what I mean, like watch, I'm pushing down with this hand, right? And watch that shoot up. I'm going to take even another thing. I'm going to take this angle right here. Watch, I'm going to push that down. And it shoots that up, right? It's kind of a cool little trick. And we'll flex on the haters here. Got this pillar. I want to get really good at that, so then when anybody ever doubts me in person, I'll be like, oh yeah, let me get on the wheel real quick, right? Like, maybe I go to like a country where it's like pottery is like practiced a lot more, right? Say I go to China for a little bit, and I go visit a pottery place, and then they'll be thinking, oh, this foreigner, what the hell, he's here being like a tourist, want to try something, and I freaking sit on the wheel, and I freaking just, they see this young guy, and maybe it's an old gentleman, and he'd be like, oh, this guy ain't no shit, and then all of a sudden, I whip out some of these fun little moves, be like, oh my lord, what the hell is that? You know, he might not like the way I do it, right, but if the product turns out cool, it doesn't matter. Actually, maybe that's not true. If the product doesn't turn out cool, maybe it doesn't. It does matter, right? Like the way you do it, right? But in my mind at that moment, it's more about like that surprise, right? Like just letting someone know, right? Like instead of like demanding respect with your words, right? You earn respect through your actions, right? I think that's the cool thing, right? I've always thought I want to have my strongest opinions be acted out through my own my actions, right? I don't want my strongest opinions to be some manifestation of a word, right? Because words, they're exactly what they are. They're words. They're not actions. Actions really do matter. They influence the world. Oh, this one's gonna fucking turn out great too. Guys, I'm getting pretty good at these poles. And I'm having this flare out on the top is actually pretty good for me, right? Because the clay, it's all a pretty even thickness right now, right? But as you stretch that clay outwards, right, what happens is it thins out. If the clay is already out so far, right, then it's going to still remain a similar thickness because it doesn't have to travel as much. In the case where maybe I would have had to do it a different way, or if I did it a different way, it would be too thin. And the thinness is, too thin is not a bad thing, right? But if too thin, oh, look at that Dude, oh my God. Guys, I don't know about you, but I think this might be the most tree-like of all my tree forms. This one has like, it's probably gonna break and collapse here. But this pot has such a freaking tree, like it's screaming tree to me. Look at these like roots on the bottom here. I don't know if you guys can see those. Just freaking beautiful. The spiral in the center. We love it. We love it. We love it. Here I am. I'm gonna open this up. Nice. Guys, oh my gosh, guys. Get this. Oh no, I don't want to get that out. Not this time. Usually that's where it rips. Not this time. Sorry, pots. Not this time. You ain't gonna get me. Oh, we're doing some freaking long ones this time, boys. Oh, wait. I literally cut off like half that pot. That's tendril. We're gonna do just 3 long ones. This is gonna look goofy as fuck. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh man, I thought I did something cool, but I think I could have fucked it up. That's okay. It's actually not too bad. It actually looks kind of cool. Maybe I gotta do more things like this. Also, I gotta pump that up real quick. Yeah. Look at this one, guys. Alright. I'm gonna get all the pots ready here. I'm gonna take the thumbnail image. And since I've been doing this green shirt, it's also allowed me to start. I don't know if you guys saw in the last thumbnail, but I had a background from the actual video that I took into the background of the thumbnail. I'm telling you, I think that really set those that video off, right? When I mean set it off, I mean like just made the whole thing seem like a lot cooler. I'm telling you, today's trees are sharp, guys. I mean, just look at some of these freaking pots, guys. Look at that. Oh, yum, 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 yum. All right, we'll be holding this last one. Hey guys, it'll be kind of fun. You guys will see my GoPro camera on my head, maybe, in this one. Oh, keep it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best. Strong mentality. Peace. What's down here? Double fish.
So when I was in high school, my art teacher noticed that I was like really into drawing like his skulls for still lives. And apparently the janitor just found a dead raccoon. So my art teacher just gave me the decaying head of a raccoon. So I like brought it home and just like had to sneak it past my grandma to go to the bathroom and clean it. So now I just own a raccoon skull that I cleaned and bleached.